Alnajjar.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We are all know about artificial intelligence. It is our daily fears about it. It will ruin our future unless we stop it. Can you imagine how many jobs were free for people like in banks before the computers come and take it, like ATMs? How many jobs we will have before these computers come? This is a simple thing we can talk about it. But moving forward, we will have less jobs because the computers will take more and more jobs. The robots will have limitless powers. Can you imagine these robots can develop itself and have lethal weapons? They can use it in any way they want. They will kill people, they will destroy our lives. And what it can cause to ourselves. When we have everything, we don't have to do anything. We just sit in our house, in our homes, and the reports and the we will have many health issues, many problems like diabetes. We will not practice exercises. We will not go to gyms because everything is in our hands. We don't need to do anything. And of course, it will do financial issues for us because many people will lose their jobs and will not have any opportunities. Not just in banks, in many sides of our lives. The communication and the relationships in our community, because of the computers. Like now, we are using the WhatsApp, and yes, it makes our lives smoothly and easier, but because of that, we lose the emotions between us in our conversations. We just communicate for benefits. We don't communicate for friendship and for relationships and going out and that just sending faces and emojis in the WhatsApp or whatever you use. In the far future, it will cause more problems and it will be the deadly future for us unless we stop these reports. Thank you.
And move on with it. Let's welcome the leader of the negative team, Toastmasters Saleh Tarrdah.
Good evening, everybody. I must stand somewhere where everybody can see me, because if I stand here, the people from the left cannot see. If you are happy with it, I'll stand here.
Okay.
We hear something very frightening about artificial intelligence. I'll tell you something about artificial intelligence. Most of you have witnessed the various stages of revolutions. We started with the first industrial revolution. At that time, there was what we call mechanization. Then we moved to automation. And then lately, we are concentrating on the ICT technologies to help us move forward. And now, the artificial intelligence is something which is becoming an important era which everybody is going to benefit from it. Recently, the United Arab Emirates announced that there is a dedicated minister for artificial intelligence. I myself attended GITEX last month and went to see the benefit of using artificial intelligence in all aspects of life. All the issues related to artificial intelligence, which have been mentioned by the leader of the first team, we could go one by one and talk about it. But before we do so, I just want to make sure that we understand what artificial intelligence means. All of you understand what intelligence means, because we are, as human beings, we are supposed to be intelligent. This is the definition of human being compared to other creatures on earth. But what does artificial means? I think our Toastmaster of the day talked about artificial intelligence, introduced it. He gave us an example of who thought about it and what is possible with artificial intelligence, and to be able to understand whether it is beneficial or not. From my perspective, the way I see it is that we already use artificial intelligence. If you go to factories, if you go to transport companies, if you go to the university, wherever you go, you will see artificial intelligence is already being used. So artificial intelligence is not completely new. It's being used, and we should continue to use it. My colleagues will explain further the benefits in exactly certain areas to convince you that artificial intelligence is not something we should be worried about. If you look at the example of introduction of computers or introduction of ATMs, if you plot the number of jobs created within the finance industry since automation, since introduction of ICT, compared to if we did not have those capabilities, all of us understand nowadays is that for you to be able to enjoy the life you are in, which is very complicated, whether in the health side, whether in the education side, whether in the industry side, construction, our life is being made much easier, more sophisticated, and just imagine yourself being able to do whatever you want to do. Even for us coming to this meeting, we had to rely on technology. How do you know about the time of this meeting? What is the theme of the meeting? All this has been communicated to you through not necessarily artificial intelligence per se, but through information communication technologies. So to give you an example of what I saw in GITEX, in New Zealand there is a university who was designing machines or robots which look and feel like human beings. And what it means is that artificial intelligence is not only concentrating with one technology. It needs a team of people with different capabilities in different disciplines to work together. So it is an example of a good teamwork by various industries, and you will see that artificial intelligence is something which is going to make life more exciting, more beneficial, more helpful to a lot of humanities, and it is something which we encourage and we support, and we want to convince you that it's something we should go for.
Team Toastmaster Abdullah Almahdi.
From Toastmaster, I just want to remind you about Industrial Revolution century. Maybe we didn't have lived by that time, but we all read about how that century, about the revolution of about the industrial revolution, how it's changed our life for today and how we live now. And how we get the time, how we should get time to adapt, how to change our life with it. First of all, jobs will be gone with the artificial intelligence century, or maybe this century. Maybe you hear about Uber apps and Airbnb apps. That's how they take jobs from taxis company and from hotels and from hotels. Yeah. They are just examples of how artificial intelligence will take jobs from us and from our children this century and next generation. We should be prepared and take solutions to avoid the problems that will come from artificial intelligence. We should teach our children how to program apps and how to learn more than one programming language. And we should improve their language skills by learning more than 2 to 3 languages, because the world is getting smaller with all the machines we have. Maybe doctors and teachers gone the next generation. Teachers are already now getting out of the field because there is online learning websites like that. So don't let next generation to follow our dream. Let them grab theirs and be ready for artificial intelligence century. Thank you for that.
Dear Toastmasters and welcome guests, good evening again.
Good evening.
What we are listening from the other team is telling us we should stop artificial intelligence because of it will lose our jobs. They are looking from only one aspect. They are not looking from other aspect. What about our life? If we stop artificial intelligence research, that means we are telling us keep earthquake killing people. You are telling us keep the mining killing people, collapse on the labors and do whatever. You are telling us keep the doctors treat the people same like before 50 years ago. Just to discover some small disease, he will take long time, he will try this and again this and again this. Meanwhile, maybe this patient will be passed away. Dear Toastmaster and welcome guest, this artificial intelligence should be continued. Why? Because there is a lot of benefits. As you heard recently about one earthquake happened in the border between Iraq and Iran. There is around 500 guys died. We have to stop that. Every year there is like earthquake, some problem happen. So we have to continue our research and let's even try to save life for these people. Because we need also, on the other hand, to continue our research in the space. If we stop this, then how we will discover the space and what is going on outside our Earth? And what about the difficult situation that we are facing? How we will discover the ocean if we are not going to develop our artificial machines or machine intelligence? We have to discover the ocean, to see what's inside. Our human beings cannot go inside for this difficult situation for a long time under that much pressure down or above our atmosphere. So we need a body or robot or whatever else to be like withstand this unfamiliar positions or situations. What about our daily application? We are using daily GPS to see the roads and these things. Our smartphone make our life more easier. It didn't kill our relationships.
For your debate speech. Now let's move on to the third speaker from the affirmative team, and let's all welcome Toastmaster Terril Thomas.
Respected debate moderator and my fellow Toastmasters.
Toastmasters. I would like to start with a quote. I visualize a time when we will be to the robots what dogs are to the humans. And when that time comes, I will root for the robots. So, coming to the resolution over here, my opposition team, Toastmaster Saleh, he had passionately told why artificial intelligence is very important to society. He linked artificial intelligence to industrial revolution, to saying that jobs were created, but to tell you the fact that in the world of computers, the rate at which the chips change, every 18 months, the power of the chip is raised by 1.5 times. Now, comparing to the industrial revolution of steam engine and horse carriages, it took 70 years for that technology to be 2 times. So you have to understand the fact that when artificial intelligence replaces the job, within 18 months, can we create a new job? But when steam engine was created, it took 70 years. And the fact that he said more jobs were created, I don't know about any other country, but in US, up to the second half of 20th century, the rate at which the goods were produced and the employees were there, it was on same line. It in fact interjected. But after 2000, after the advent of computers and internet, the rate of goods increased, but the employment reduced. So I don't understand the point that where new jobs are created. And my opposition, Toastmaster Hamid, he emotionally appealed how AI helps in solving earthquake, helps in space exploration, makes our life easy. Very true, I agree with him, but space exploration, it doesn't depend on AI, it depends on money and budget. NASA stopped because they don't have money, not because they have AI. And the other fact that it makes our life easy. Let me ask you, how many of you remember your friend's telephone number? You remember?
Yeah, 2 of them only.
2 of them. But probably, if I ask the older generation, not now, maybe before, they might be by heart with at least 10 to 15 mobile numbers. But what artificial intelligence has made us, we have delegated all our jobs to computers. And because of that, our ability of our brain to think, memorize, and retain has reduced. Imagine this is 2017. 2030, your kids won't even remember your own parents' name. So I don't believe it makes our life easy, but it also destroys our brain and reduces our capability to think. So again, I want to conclude, and also the fact that artificial intelligence, if it goes at this rate, over to you, debater.
Wait, timer, can you turn off the light? You can go ahead.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, our guest, good evening. I would like to start saying, what are the needs of what is our needs so we can continue in the artificial intelligence. First of all, we need a training. Most of people here don't know how to use the artificial intelligence, and that's why we are afraid of using it. So this is the first thing. Second thing, we need a clear vision. People here are afraid from robots because they don't know why people are making robots. You are afraid the robot one day will replace your job, but take it easy, my friend. The robot is just going for space to discover it. So instead of taking humans and killing them in space, we will send robots and we'll keep them there. So, and our third thing, we need money. For sure, it's expensive. We all know that, but paying money now and going on with the artificial intelligence, later, the benefits of the artificial intelligence will bring you back all the money you have already spent. So, also I would like to say something about, Sayyid Muhammad mentioned about the ATM. So, the ATM, when they produce ATM, do you know now in banks, they have a department that's specialized for the ATM machines only. In this department, they have 5 employees. They work in 2 shifts just to monitor the ATMs and what problems occur. Also, they have a car that contains a driver and 2 people to go and put the money in the ATMs. In addition to that, they have a technician. They have 2 technicians. They work during day and night. So if we compared all these jobs, and this is in one bank, compared it to the job that we had before 10 or 15 years maybe, I don't know. We used to have in one bank one person who give and take the money. And in addition to that, the ATM is much more safer than before. We all agree. We all remember that in the 1950s, maybe, or 1940s, we all saw that movie that two guys went through the whole US and they broke into every bank and stole all the money in it. Why? Because to take and have money, you have to keep the money in the bank. For now, the ATMs, the money is spread everywhere. So once you start taking or hijacking one ATM, the police already will catch you and will not be able to continue your job. That's it for today. Thank you.
Our main points, which I think you all need to understand, is that artificial intelligence, it may have some side effects, but the positive effects of it outweighs the negative effects. When it comes to loss of jobs, we don't agree with it. Historically speaking, if you look at all fields, there are more jobs created since we introduced artificial intelligence or ICT technologies in all industries, whether it is in banking, in construction, and health, or something. The job is different. It's not the same as what the people are doing. It will be more demanding on the people who deal with machines, especially artificial intelligence. So you need to really exercise your brain. I don't agree with the aspect of that you are going to surrender to technology to make you think. You are going to have to use your brain in such a way to deal with artificial intelligence systems because they are more complicated. They need a lot of effort by the human beings, especially if you are a technician or an engineer. So we don't subscribe to the idea that there are negative impact of it. We subscribe to the idea that artificial intelligence is going to make us more productive, more intelligent, more prosperous, will be in line with other countries which are developing artificial intelligence. Bahrain needs definitely artificial intelligence because we have limited resources, we have limited people, we have limited skills. So artificial intelligence should deal with all the challenges, and we see a good perspective for all of us to enjoy artificial intelligence. And back to
Hammed Alnajjar.
It is the deadly future we are waiting for. It is not all about ATMs and jobs. And I'm going to discard this garbage after the end of the meeting. We are humans developing ourselves with work and thinking. When we stopped our thinking and our working, we'll freeze our abilities. And it will be the end of our life. And if that happened, we will get less jobs, like I mentioned, and more diseases, like diabetes and more other diseases. More crimes will happen. If we don't have jobs, we'll get more crimes, and maybe the reports that we give them these huge abilities, and they thinking without any limits. They have all these powers. They can communicate with each other without control from us. They will use these weapons, and they will control our lives. No, we can't control them after that. It will ruin our relationships, and it will be very restricted. Language skills will be restricted, and people will not communicate. And of course, it will reduce our ability to think and innovate. Thank you.